Hi there, we're celebrating Earth Day here at the Briggs Museum, and I'm standing in front of one of my favorite pieces that has to do with nature and the human experience. This massive piece next to me was made by a local artist named Lisa Bartolozzi. And in here we see the figure of a man drawing in the dirt. And this piece is called Wisdom Series, Drawing in the Dirt. And what we have here is he's creating and connecting into the ground and physically drawing these repetitive symbols and semicircular symbols that show up a lot in nature. Now, her work is very interested in both old traditions, like the old masters like Rembrandt. And so her style is done to really highlight the natural elements and the natural lights by being painted with a lot of thin layers of paint that trap light deep in and reflect the natural light around them. And that's how she's able to get this very gritty, very earthy look to her piece. As well as this earthy, gritty look really connects not only this man to the ground, but also helps bring us into the painting. At this size alone, we ourselves are a participant in the activity of drawing into the dirt. Because of the way it's painted, we are physically on the ground with this gentleman drawing as he connects himself to the earth over and over again. And it sort of speaks to humans' connection with the earth. We both thrive on it, we cultivate it, but here also we see that things are starting to die. We have thistles, we have dirt, we have dead leaves. And this sort of speaks to the nature of, while we cultivate and bloom in the earth, if we do not take care of it, it will wither away, and then what are we left with? And so this painting really makes me think about that because of these techniques.
Hey everybody, so for Earth Day, my favorite bit of dirt here at the Briggs Museum is the sand art by Andrew Clemens. Andrew Clemens lived in Iowa on the shores of the Mississippi River, second half of the 1800s. And what was interesting about Andrew is that he was born deaf and he also was mute. And so creating sand art was the way that he was able to support himself. With the advent of the transcontinental railroad, tourists that came through Iowa would have the option of purchasing one of these sand art objects from Andrew Clemens, and then of course he would be able to support himself. The interesting thing is that he sourced all of this sand locally. There are these very distinctive, McGregor, Iowa has these, its claim to fame, apart from, of course, fantastic sand art, is that it has fantastic sand. So there's these very unique cliffs that overhang the Mississippi River, and they have these swirling shapes of unique types of soil. And so all the colors that you see here, Mr. Clemens had sorts them individually, he separated them, and then he, bit by bit, one grain of sand at a time, position them inside glass bottles into these unique compositions. There are no adhesives used in the creation of this. The stopper is waxed and it creates enough pressure to help keep the sand in place, but if this is jostled too hard, it could be totally destroyed. But I just want you to sort of note the intricate detail of the flowers on one side and the eagle and the stars and stripes on the other, with the year 1884. Andrew Clemens, the #1 sand artist that the United States has ever produced. Thanks.